So to get things started, Stu Peters is mostly known for being anti-Semitic. He speaks about a lot of Jewish conspiracies. He believes that Jews control America and controls the larger world. So over this weekend, I tweeted him and just asked him why does he also dislike black people, and he sent me a response. So I wanted to respond on camera and kind of dissect what he said. So I asked Stu why you dislike blacks, and his response was, blacks are 13% of America, but 30% of the murders. They're responsible for 70% of the interracial crime, 80% of the police shootings, and 90% of black babies are fatherless. The IQ averages are 85. He also says they're most likely to rape, rob, and assault. They glorify, their culture glorifies violence, promiscuity, and entitlement. So as you can see, there's a lot to unwrap here. So I'd just like to start with the 13%. That represents 50 million people. So his next comment was that they commit 50% of the murders. So yes, the black population does represent 50% of the murders, but I don't understand why Stu Peters dislikes 50 million black people because of the 10,000 or so blacks who commit murder every year. Also, I don't understand why he has a problem with blacks because of interracial crime, because crime is only committed by about 6% of blacks in totality. So of the 50 million blacks, only 6% are committing crime. So again, I feel like he's stereotyping the large group of blacks based upon what a small minority is doing. Now, in terms of blacks glorifying violence, promiscuity, and entitlement, I think that entertainment as a whole glorifies crime, promiscuity, and violence. So if you look on TV, if I were to judge white culture by pop music, I would say the singers talk about having sex outside of marriage, and they talk about partying and drinking. If I listen to rock music, they talk about drugs. If I watch different television stations or movies, there's a lot of crime, a lot of shootings. I don't believe that people judge the white culture by entertainment, so I don't believe that black people should be judged by entertainment. I do understand there's a larger percentage of blacks who are committing murder than the percentage of whites in terms of their total population. Same thing with welfare, and I'm not sure about promiscuity. There's no statistic for it, but I mean, it's possible that blacks are, I do believe that blacks, whites get married at a higher percentage, but I'm not sure about the sexual relation aspect in terms of promiscuity. But I do believe the cultures are different. So I can understand Stu maybe saying that the cultures are different and there's some things about black culture that I don't like. But I don't understand why he's stating and defining black culture by its negatives. A more appropriate way to say you have issues with the black community is just to say that there are some issues that I believe that the black culture could either you could say they can work on, or you could just say that they could highlight more of the positives. I do believe that blacks try to highlight the positive things that we do, but people aren't going to talk about scientists often in the news. What people really cover mostly in the news are negative things. When something goes wrong, that's what gets covered. So in terms of whites and blacks, if whites are not a part of the inner city or a part of the urban community, they're not seeing everything we're doing. They're just seeing what's reported, and news basically just reports negative things. So I would just tell Stu, maybe hang around more black people, maybe learn more about the culture, and you may see and view us different. Also, in terms of these statistics that he brought up, if you look at whites with welfare, there are about 20 million whites who use some form of welfare. So that's like 10% of their population. So it's a significant portion of whites who use welfare. And then if you look at something like West Virginia, I believe it's 90% white, 4% black, and they have a higher rate of welfare, rape, and violent crime than the national average. So just being around white people would not fix the problem, because amongst whites in places like West Virginia, and as I've named before, Kentucky, Oklahoma, various places in Appalachia, there is a crime and violence problem. So it's not just a black thing, but like I have said before, it's more of a social economic issue. And then also in terms of crime, not necessarily murder and assault, but child pornography. Mostly that's men. So about 98% of the child pornography arrests are men. So that's a problem across the board for men. But race-wise, 5% of the arrests are blacks. Blacks represent 13% of the population, as he said, but only 5% of the child pornography arrests. Whereas whites represent 50% of the population, and there's 80% of the child pornography arrests. So even though blacks have a problem with violence and murder, I think we should highlight that and focus on it, as not highlight it, society, it's okay for people to discuss it. I think black people should work on the murder rate because the black murder rate is off the charts. But outside of just murder, whites have an issue with child pornography. So I just wanted to be fair and balanced and say that both cultures have their problems. So like Stu called out the black murderers, I hear you. We need to call it out and work on it. Hopefully you hear me calling out white people with the child pornography crime statistics. Actually, I responded to Stu. I guess we could have people check out the tweet, but when Stu tweeted me back, I hit him back with some facts. Not sure if he checked them out, and then I tag people because, you know, that's just how I am. But I just stated more of some of the things I told you guys in that response to Stu. If you like this video, please smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. New shows airing Monday through Thursday.